When beauty comes from within, it gives room to realize and appreciate the aesthetic value of someone or something. Rejection, pain, hopelessness, and stigmatization ensues cancer survivors worldwide, and when left unchecked, this may lead to life terminated at an early stage. Furthermore, when outer and inner beauty is injured, it leaves a deep hole in many and destroys self-confidence in several beautiful souls. Meet the beautiful Diana, both at heart and in appearance, a Kenyan beautician who has put it to task to restore the image of such cancer victims.
I'm a business lady. I run a salon here on Ngong Road at Marsabit Plaza. And apart from being a businesswoman, I'm also a philanthropist. I normally do a lot of charity work, especially with cancer survivors. Those are the people I've decided to work with.
The sad experience of losing her best friend to the cancer menace was the greatest motivation behind this initiative, Diana tells me.
A very, very good friend of mine. Actually, we were very close. She was diagnosed with cancer about 5 years ago. And I saw the journey, how she lost her hair, how it affected her self-esteem. And it wasn't easy. So one day I decided to do a makeover on her before she passed on. And she was very happy. And she told me, you can share the pictures on social media, let people see what you've done. So I sent the pictures of the transformation, and that was just the beginning. You know, people started inboxing me, oh Dee, my daughter has cancer, can you make for her a wig? And that's just how it started. I don't charge them anything because I feel the pain, the journey is very expensive. And so to me, just to see them smiling is all that I need. So it's something I've done so far now. I can't believe it's already 5 years.
Dee, as popularly known, takes me through her journey on how she started a local charity where she provides wigs to cancer survivors, and I must mention, at no cost.
Number one, we have to have at least some medical records of some proof. We just don't give anyone, because somebody might just decide to go and shave her hair bald and say, Dee, me, I have cancer, I want a wig. So it's possible, it happens. So we have to check on that. And then another thing that I normally, put emphasis on is I like to give to the ladies who have lost hair completely. Because you might find some, they've gone through their chemo, it's done, but their hair is growing back. But there are some who are like completely bald. So the people I encourage more, I'm like, please just give a chance to this person who doesn't have hair completely. So normally those are the ladies I want to work with. The ones who are totally bald, those are the ones that I work with. But we normally try to get medical records.
Luckily, some of her clientele and people she barely know chip in to help raise funds and wigs for the cancer patients.
As long as you're a cancer survivor and you've come to my establishment, and we have proof that of course it's cancer, we do not charge you at all. But normally I get donations from people and even well-wishers who come to the salon and they drop wigs. So at least that way it tends to cut the costs. But normally for the survivors, there are no hidden charges whatsoever.
Once she receives a request from the patients, she organizes for a booking of the wig's installation.
Let me say, I don't really have a particular day, because if anyone feels like, my door is always open. If you just inbox me and tell me, Dee, I have my aunt and she needs a wig, I'll just tell her, come. There's always a wig to give. But if I have a major event, that's when I can say maybe I give a notice of like about a month or two for me to plan myself. So sometimes we can do like major events, I can say like about maybe 4 or 5 times a year, where I can say, okay, like about 30 people. But now because of the COVID, it's hard to have a big number of ladies to come. So we're trying to limit the numbers as much as possible. You'll find sometimes maybe the ladies who come for the makeover, some come from quite far. Wow, because I used to get even some who used to travel overnight. They're taking a bus from Kisumu, they're coming to Nairobi to come for the makeover. So you might find when they come here in the morning, they need to have at least some breakfast. They're tired, we need to sit, we need to eat, So it's normally, if it's something that takes time. So of course you have to consider they need to have some bitings and stuff. So there's always that. There's prayers normally after that. People pray, and then there's also They talk about their journeys. We give everybody a chance to talk about the journey, how the healing process is, what they've gone through, just to motivate each other.
It pleases me to see a smile on the faces of the victims once fitted with the wigs, Diana tells me.
What motivates me the most is when I see that person smiling and excited, and for that particular moment, the pain disappears. They forget about the journey. So when they come to D and they sit on my magic seat, they forget about the chemo, they forget about the hair loss, because they know when you get there, it's just about me making you feel good about yourself. Because when I see that lady looking at herself in the mirror and saying, my God, I'm so beautiful, I'm like, yes. So seeing that smile and the hope motivates me every day. Yeah, that really gives me so much joy in my heart. Then normally it's priceless, because you might find some of the survivors are neglected. There's the stigma, somebody maybe has been left by the spouse. So when they come here and they get that makeover, I'm telling you, some cry tears of joy, some they don't even want to go to sleep because they're thinking the makeup will just run out. So it's normally they're very grateful. They're normally very, very grateful. Funny enough, they don't even tell me what they want, because when you come here, imagine, you don't even have the hair, you don't even have the eyebrows, maybe the hair is all. So when you get there, you just like, do your thing. I've never found someone who's so particular, like, maybe I want because they're normally like, this is even good enough. For you to invite me is just enough. So I never get survivors who are fussy to a point. Maybe when it comes to hairstyles, because there are some ladies I might want to give the wigs, and maybe she's older, and maybe I'll give her this kind of wig. She'll say, hey, me and my mama, I want a short one. Or you might get a young girl, maybe at 15 or 20. You give her a short one. She's like, no, D, me, I want something long, like for Beyonce. So you have to be considerate about their feelings at that time.
On the list of her support system is her family, which she is very thankful to. Her daughter especially, who has followed in her footsteps and is playing quite a big role in her mom's initiative.
I have a very, very supportive husband, and my kids are also amazing. They're really, really, they really go out of their way. When they know I have a makeover, they'll be like, okay, Mom, we're going to come. What do we make? So they're very much in touch with what I do. And then sometimes I feel sorry for my family as well when maybe I lose a survivor. I normally go home, maybe one passed on. They'll know today Mom is not okay. I'll just lock myself in the room, and my husband like, just give Mommy some time, Because when I tell them, I've lost so and so, they know Mommy needs her time. And then my employees are just amazing people. When the survivors come for a makeover, they know they're not getting paid, because they know I'm not going to charge them. So they're willing. They have amazing hearts. They're like, D, she's a survivor. It's okay. We'll do our makeup. We'll do her wig. And they know that, because I always tell them that blessings come from God. Nothing is about money. Because the minute you're going to make this lady happy, she will bless you and your family. And, so I teach them to learn to, not everything is about the money. So I can say that I have the most amazing team. And out there, I think when I walk, people nowadays have known me as the cancer survivor lady. Everywhere I walk, this is Dee, the one who does makeover for cancer survivors. Even maybe when I go out, maybe I'm going somewhere even to watch something, I just want my time. Someone will come and tell me, Dee, I see what you do. You're so amazing, and God bless you. So I think it's a very positive impact to everyone as a whole.
I am the makeup artist. I specialize in makeup. Specifically, I help my mom with the cancer occasions. We help her cook, we help her do the makeovers, we set the mood. We just like to make them feel young again. Like, the whole point of our presence with my sisters is just to keep them in a whole mood. Honestly, me and my mom are quite close, and I feel very comfortable working with them, working here. It's where I get to be myself, where I just enjoy. It really puts me in a nice place.
With a smile lifting on the corners of her face, to reveal her unconventional compassion for cancer survivors, This is how she responds when I inquire about the male cancer victims.
The men, okay, maybe if they could come for a pedicure such, but mostly the ladies are affected the most because, a hair is a woman's glory. So imagine you don't have the hair, you don't have the confidence. So for the men also, we do a bit of maybe shaving, or they can come for a pedicure. But for ladies, those are the ones I work with a lot.
To help us understand more, Diana paints a clear picture of some of the challenges the victims undergo, stigmatization being one of them.
What I hear a lot of stories, and maybe I interact with someone one-on-one. I think people should learn to be more loving and supportive, because there's no way someone very close to you can be diagnosed with cancer and then you decide, I'm not going to walk this journey with this person. That's why I think maybe as a community, or as we should try to love, give support. That's why I was really hoping that so many people can come into this, and just because without that support, you get a total mental breakdown. That's what even kills people faster, just the fact that you're rejected. So I think people should be more loving, people should be more considerate, people should visit the sick anytime, love them, support them. It's even in the Bible, love, just be supportive, and God will bless you 10 times, because you don't know, tomorrow might be you. So would you be happy to be treated the way the other person is going through? You wouldn't want that. So I think people should just love each other and help and support anybody who is sick.
Though she gets no funding at the moment from the government or non-governmental organizations, her wish is for these organizations to step in and boost her initiative.
At the moment, no, I don't have any sponsors. I'm not lucky there yet, but normally I'm just working, as an individual, and the only well-wishers who just walk in and they'll call me and tell me, hi Dee, I went to London and I came back with some 3 weeks. Can you bless a lady? Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, people are so kind out here. I can't even tell you. So I get a lot of well-wishers who support me. Or maybe a client will come, she's used her human hair wig maybe 3-4 times. It's like, Dee, can you style it and treat it and bless someone else? So I can say God has been good. I've had very good friends and good well-wishers. So far I'm grateful. But I wouldn't mind getting sponsors to work with them, maybe help me in this journey, but maybe God's time, whenever God decides.
Having been in the industry for over 20 years, Diana has no plans of stopping anytime soon, but rather has great plans for the future.
I've been in this industry for 20 years, and of course I went to Pivot Point International. It's a school for beauty and hair. We were amongst the first students to do it, to take up the course. Then after that I decided to go into business. So far it's been a good journey. It's something that I've loved doing. It's a talent I have and a passion. So when you combine both, it's just amazing.
In order to receive blessings in abundance, we need to give back to the community in whichever way possible.
I'm not a rich woman at all. I struggle like any other Kenyan. I struggle to pay my bills like any other Kenyan. But sacrificing that 2,000 to change someone's life, I think you can do it in any small way. You can even just decide, this lady is sick, let me just cook for her even a kacha point. You don't really need to go deep into your pocket to make somebody happy. Whatever you have, whatever small that you have, just share. Help where you can. Even if you see your neighbor, just walk around, get to know your Nyumba Kumi initiative, get to know how is Mama Nani doing? Oh, I heard she's not feeling well. Imagine just take unga, even for 20 bob. People, you don't need to be rich to help anyone. There are a lot of challenges, because sometimes you might find, let me talk about the survivors. You might find I have a list of about even 50 survivors, and I only have like 10 weeks. And maybe the demand is high, and you can see the economy is crazy right now. So that one is a challenge sometimes, getting the wigs, because that's when, if you get sponsors like, it could be easier, but since I'm doing it myself, it's very challenging. Of course, with the COVID, it has affected a lot of, our business type of, the way we do our salon and barbershop. It's really been affected, but, you don't give up. We'll just have to learn to manage and learn how to live with it.
There are many cancer cases in Kenya and all over the world. Today, we celebrate our beautiful heroine, Diana, also known as Dee, for taking lead in supporting cancer survivors in her best way possible. If we all join hands in support of such great initiatives, then we are bound to achieve immeasurable success.